So I came across this Teofimo clip on Twitter from Jaxxon podcast. Now I never heard of the podcast before with Rampage and everything. And I heard this thing about him really kind of like saying that Canelo was overhyped. Now I'm not a Teofimo Lopez like hater channel. I'm not, but it just every time he just keeps dropping these little nuggets that I just make videos about. Because it's just like this kid. I don't know. Like his head is everywhere, right? But I want you to listen to this quick clip, and then we're gonna talk about it.
Build your record. Sometimes they take it to Mexico and they build it there, just to start it off. Half of, if not 3/4 of Canelo's, 3/4 of Canelo's record is in Mexico.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, about like half or 3/4 of his career is in Mexico.
But would we consider Canelo like the greatest?
I think when Canelo came into the United States to fight and was Golden Boy and everything, I think he was already in his 30-something fight or like 44th fight professionally.
So basically, he's kind of alluding to the fact that Canelo is overhyped, right? Like, hey, you go to Mexico, you fight like 25 taxi driver bums, and now, you come to the States and you have this inflated record, they put you on, you look undefeated, you got a big knockout ratio, and then you somehow make millions of dollars, and then they call you great, but you're not great because it's all inflated. Now, the fact that he said 3/4 of Canelo's like record, not like I mean, I guess does he not watch boxing? Like the only thing I can think of is like you don't spend time watching boxing, right? So you're so into boxing, you don't watch it. But if you don't do that, then somebody should tell you, like, bro, don't talk about things you don't know, because then sometimes you look stupid and silly. Now, nobody's not denying that not only did he fight Tomato cans in Mexico, but he was also 16 years old. No amateur background, right, to speak of. And then he came to the States. Yes, you fought a bunch of Mike Tyson punch-out Glass Joes, right, and Don Flamencos. Of course, that's what you do. I mean, Carmel Moten right now is doing the same thing, right? And he's a highly touted prospect. Every fighter that's brought up the right way does it this way, even no matter how good their record was in the amateurs, except for a couple of exceptions. They're always outliers, right? But this guy's like, oh man, 3/4. Like, oh my God, somebody teach him math. It doesn't work like that. Now, I'm not the biggest Canelo fan, but through the years, I've come to admit this man his resume is almost second to none. Whether or not you think he lost a few fights, that happens to almost every single fighter. Almost every single fighter that is active or is now retired, you can pick out a fight or 2 or 3 that you say, well, he got a gift there, right? It happens, right? Or fought him out of prime. It happens. So, having not said that, what else do you want Canelo to do except for fight David Benavidez, right? Which I think is gonna happen. But he keeps fighting ranked and champion guys, right? Like, whether you think he lost some and beat some, it doesn't matter. His resume is crazy. And to somehow allude to the fact that he's not like an all-time great because he fought in Mexico when he was 16 years old, when you were still in the amateur circuit, it's bananas, right? Like, why he says the things he says, and just like, brother, listen, I like you a lot. You're a hell of a fighter, but just concentrate on boxing for now. And if you're gonna have an opinion on something, just make sure it's educated. And that goes for everybody. I mean, like I said, it's just crazy to even allude that Canelo is anything other than a great active fighter who's gonna walk into the Boxing Hall of Fame, right? He's just gonna walk in there, and to really like allude that he's not, it's crazy, or that he shouldn't. I don't understand this kid, right? Drop the comments below. Let me know what you think. Do you think Teofimo's just gonna keep this same thing over and over of just overly just talking and talking and talking without no substance? Let me know.